All right, so what do we have here? We have the Metropolitan 9-hole cup. So I shot a brief scouting report just to see what the holes look like, but nobody had the holes weren't available yet in the game. So we're in the practice session, and this is the way it should be. We should be practicing in the practice session. Tournament starts. No more practice. You want to practice, go play tour play and try and pick up the holes you're looking for, or run another account and don't qualify on Thursday, run through and get yourself a good run at it, and then go out and try and qualify on Friday or whatever, however you want to play it. But practice is over. So we are in practice, so let's go Metropolitan 9-hole cup. I do not have enough practice tees, so let me put a couple things on that won't work half the fucking time, but when they do work, we'll get a practice token. We'll customize it with some stuff to slow the game down and give us practice tokens randomly. Wouldn't it be cool if in the store you could go in and just buy practice tokens? You could buy a tournament pack. Police are after me. Flying a helicopter over the house. If you're in the front of my house and you're looking out across the valley, the airport's right there in front of my house. So if there's a big plane crash, it's all small planes. We don't have any big planes coming into town. Hole number 1. Now, I'm pretty sure, let's go look at the holes. I'm pretty sure hole number 1, I was trying to bounce out here and trying to clear the thing and trying to go through and trying to dribble through the rough and end up on the green side in 1. I'm sure with one of those topspin boost balls, those 5-power topspin boost balls, I'm gonna try it with just a berserker and see what happens. Like, see what more I need to bring out. We'll see what the wind's like. Usually they'll give you shitty wind. They'll give you wind that's not indicative. That's more where you'll have to bring out bigger stuff. You'll burn a bunch of resources. But once again, they're giving us the stick. Like, you could give us the stick or you could give us the carrot. It seems like most of the stuff the Playdemic does is they're giving us the stick. They make it hard for us to get prox tokens so that we're not proxing. They make it hard for us to get access to the ball inventory we need for the course that we're playing. So we went through the practice session. We should be able to go into the store and find the balls. Like, hey, we should be able to go through the ball inventory and buy some balls. I would assume that if it'll hurt, it'll be like 5 for $10. You can play that tournament with those. But if you want practice ones, it's 15 for 10, or there's some magic number that's in there. If you buy the packs, you get 10 for $4.99. So buy packs. Buy the $4.99 pack. If you buy a $4.99 pack every time a special ball comes out, if you spend money in the game, hey, a lot of people don't spend money, and that's fine. A lot of people say they don't spend money, but they actually do. We all know how that shit works. And that wind blows for trying to do this shot. So even with a topspin boost ball, I might have enough. Now, if you were gonna play this shot and try this, why wouldn't you bring out, unless they're doing a max curl shot? And I think they're too far out. That grate to the right helped them. So you got plenty of room right there, and where they're lacking is on the other end. They wanted to get all the way around. They were way too far out. They were like 10 rings out, and you only need to be like 4 with a quarterback, 3. Yeah, see, like, if I put all of the topspin on it, I can make it over, but it's not going to go very far. Whereas if I brought out, let's bring out an extra mile, we can get a little more distance. What's up, baby? Let's bring out a topspin boost ball and see what that looks like. I'm out of those. Where are the other ones? These ones are 2 topspin boost and lower wind. If you had tailwind days, you could possibly get over. I think with just a regular 5-power ball, though, there's another way. I really don't think that we could get over on that way, but we could go through this channel right here on the right hand side, this channel, this one right here, and try and end up right here where we got a short chip up to the cup. Because we can get that same kind of distance before we're trying to get the bounce right here to go over into the rough and down the backside. So it might have to be like a blind curl shot where you're setting up a certain distance and you need to get as much arc on the ball as possible without doing a max overpower hook. What's up, baby?
If I do this, can you figure out how I can do this patch
Checkerboard?
checkerboard squares on here, on the arms for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, hold on a second. I'll show you how to do it.
You can wait till you're done.
No, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Let me take the shot. I'm going to try it with just a regular berserker, because I have a few of those. We're going to see if we can get
Don't talk about me like that.
get my angle right so that I can get over there. Usually with an extra mile it's about 2 rings, but where it's tailing off, I'm going to do 1 ring. I'm going to do plus 30 on the drive, so that's at 1, so that's 4/8. So that's 2.5 rings. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if I got my wind direction right. It's gonna be short. Oh, it hit the fucking tree. It hit the tree and that jacked it all up. So that pulling, I pulled 1, so I probably needed to pull, that was 30%, I probably needed to pull like 50% against the headwind. And I'm imagining it's probably going to be the same with a tailwind. You're going to have to pull like 50 to 100%. Like if the wind's 4, you'll have to do like an 8-mile-an-hour pull. This shot, there's max Nirvana. There's mid, so I'm at the 3/4 mark. It'd be nice, there's a little flat spot up here at the top of these hills. Where I can see what the hell I'm doing. Three. If I do a straight up, it's in the 2 per ring, so there's 3. There's 3. Hit a 1 ring great to the left. Arrgh. Could still go in though. Since we don't know what extra adjustment, I don't like. Everybody who watches my videos knows I don't like taking putt. I don't like putting at all. But like that, even though you're that close going up that hill, sometimes it's a side putt. All right, I'll be right back. Right back. All right, where were we? Practice hole number 2. What is hole number 2? I looked at these holes yesterday and I got them all jacked up, but I think I did actually get all the holes. Nope, this is a hole that I missed yesterday. I got the wrong hole. I like to play this hole where you try and get where this light post is. What it is it's this lamp throwing its shadow off of that tree. This zone right here where you're in between those 2 shadows or you're in that shadow, this area right here is my target spot, and from there you can start off with a 3 power ball with your sniper where you have a window over here and you can get closer. What I'm trying to do on the cup, there's several ways that you can go at it, and I'm assuming that we have the old pin placement, and the old pin placement in my opinion is better. So if you're up in there so that you can start down low, because this is a hill and it washes out, and if you start where you're up on the hill, it's going to bring it back to the right, and I'm trying to start low enough that I actually have to put a little bit of left hand spin in order to bring it back to the cup, or just a sliver of right hand spin. So I'm trying to go straight at it and avoid getting caught up and getting washed out by the hill, because it's not just having your trajectory right when you hit the hill and you're expecting the hill to wash you out at the cup. It's you got to have your speed right. So if you've played real golf, you know, you hit it a little bit too fast and it blows through the brake, and you hit it a little bit too slow and it catches the brake too early and really drifts off. We will see. Now, with my APOC, I was actually getting more distance down there than I used to get with the extra mile, but it is easier with more curl than what you get in an extra mile, or bringing out a bigger side spin ball. So let's practice it. Let's practice. Hey, let's go back. Let's practice now. Let's make sure we got a bag right. We got the bag right. I'm gonna bring out a man, and it seems like we're just really tight to the cup. Like if we do an adjustment, it's like within +10, or I'm pretty sure we were adding wind on. I'm gonna do 10% to the cup, and I'm gonna do like 20 on the drive. We'll do the drive first. 1.2 times whatever the wind is divided by 1.5. I'm gonna have to switch bags. That's the wrong bag. I want to bring in APOC. If I can get an opponent. See, they purposely do this. I think the cynical side of me thinks that they are trying to force the issue. And so they have made it harder to do the thing so that they can waste more people's time, so that they can just say, hey, we made these changes because you guys asked us to. We didn't want to, but we had so much outpouring from the community. Due headwind? That is due headwind. I think my opponents, are they trying to bounce over the sand and then roll it through? They are. Bounce number 1, bounce number 2, and that's going to get them to maybe, I got a ways to go from there. We want to try and start off on the other side. With this kind of headwind, this would be easier with a 4-power ball. You can see you're right at it. I'm going to switch to my number 5 bag. Get where my white ring is off. The side spin's more important than anything else. All of the side spin. White ring off. I'm going to do clear ring off. That transition. 2.8. Just to make sure we get any directional wind out. There's 2.4. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can get up there to the shadow. Past the shadow. All the way up in the front. That might, now I don't think I'm in long iron range, but I'm getting pretty close. I might actually be in between clubs. Last time I came out here with my APOC, I started using it instead of my extra mile, and I was really whipping around the corner, and even though my extra mile has more topspin, I wasn't able to capitalize on that because it doesn't have as much curl. So really whipping it around there with the extra mile, and that's probably a little more topspin than what I was using with my extra mile. So we're +10 to the cup, wherever the hell I'm at in my club. Okay, there's minimum sniper, that's 1.2. There's mid. I might be in the mid range. It's like 1.1 per ring. I want to come back. We're practicing here, so I'm not really too concerned about missing it. I'd rather do a little bit of backspin like that. Like 2 or 3. That flattened out movement right there looks good. What is that? 3 backspin, almost 3 side spin. 3.4, 3.74, 3.75. Still had room to work out the wind. Hitting it perfect. I was going to actually time out, but I had enough time to set it up. Just smoked the outside edge. Didn't quite pull it enough. And I did it at 1-to-1, even though I was at minimum club. So I added on 10% and I shot at 1-to-1. And it was at minimum club from back where I was at. I was probably on my slider, I was probably at like 30% if you use an app. That's a difficult range from there because like getting your it's always, for me, since I do paper numbers, it's always better to do either be right at mid or right at min. Pretty close to min though. All right, we do have a shot on that hole though. I think we can work the deal on that hole. We can definitely make that better. All right, what do we have for hole number? What are we on? Practice now. We're on hole number 3. Hole number 3. What is the spectacular hole number 3 that you speak so highly about? All right, this right here is much easier with a 4-side spin ball, but it can be done with a 3-side spin ball. But it's better with a 3-side spin ball if you got 4 power. Are we catching a drift here? A 4-4-4. The Mr. Utility ball works really, really well on this hole. And like wherever the hell your red line is out here with your club, we're pinching up into this. If I blew that up so we could actually draw it out, your red line's like in, I'm just picking up a spot. It could be it's obviously in a different spot. I'm trying to wedge my ball guide up so that I'm 2 rings of separation away from this rough and wedge it in that area. So I'm going off in this and I'm trying to make up this distance. So by giving myself 2 rings, it's separating me a little from it so that I'm not on the other side of the angle. So it's harder to over curl it. Plus it gives me a little bit of separation down here for wind. So if you don't make a great adjustment or you hit it on the inside, which would be in this situation to the left, you're not immediately just clipping the rough. You gave yourself a little bit of leeway. This angle is much easier with a 4-side spin ball. With a 3-side spin ball, you flirt with the front of this and you typically end up right out here in front, or you'll come up on the green and you'll be somewhere in this quadrant. And I can tell you where you don't want to be in that quadrant is on the green or down here, because you can't make the putt. But with a 4-side spin ball, you can consistently come through this gap with good clearance here and end up like out in this area, where it might drift around and due to terrain, and it's up in this spot. It's a down the hill shot to get there, so you still got work to do, but it's definitely makeable. The best place to be is right here, because then you're kind of going up the hill at it, and it's a pretty straight shot. It's up the side hill, so it is a pretty straight shot at it. Let's see what we have for inventory. I'm gonna take a Kingmaker. We'll just take what I already have set up. We'll just take that. I think I already have a Kingmaker and an APOC set up. APOC, Kingmaker. Practice, 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 practice. This is why it's so important to shoot your own videos. So today I'm not really worried about making any shots today or what the deal is, because we're just practicing. So it doesn't matter whether we get a bad score or a good score. We don't win a chest anyway. You could, if you wanted to keep people where, hey, I noticed that my opponent's practicing, so I'm going to practice, and let's really get a look at it. Avoid that stuff from happening. You can win. We both paid to get here. We should be able to win a chest. So somebody might go, hey, dude, I'm not going to let you have 40 practices. 40 looks at it. We just got out of a tournament where a lot of the par 4s you could actually get on in one, and you could go for hole-in-one. You could go for hole-in-one on the par 4. I didn't get super aggressive on them and go for really, really go for it. But I did, give myself a shot at it. And it seems like I was doing 10% on the drive. So 1.1 times whatever the wind is divided by 1.5. I think with a topspin boost ball, you could be out right there and have a short chip. You want to get past that tree, but I think you can if you brought out a bigger ball with a topspin boost. Okay, so we want to know where our max is. And I don't think I'm putting on, I think I'm putting on like, I'm just going to put on 4 topspin. I actually think that's too much. Yeah, I mean, if I make it through there, that's way too much. So I'm going to put on just 2 topspin. But the 3 side spin's the key. And I'm going to have to pinch myself and be 2 rings. 3.0 divided by 1.5. 2.22 rings. And 2.22 rings. $75 rings great to the right. That'll go. I might make it through that area. Whew. Just make it through it. Excellent, excellent. That's not a bad shot from there. I don't have a lot of room on the right. I do have a little bit on the right, but I'm trying to give myself as much room down on the bottom as possible. So like I hit a 2 ring great to the right, which is on the bottom. And I had enough room down there, but that means if I have that much room down there, I'm having to take up room at the top, so you don't want to hit it great to the left. I think you could hit it 1 ring great to the left and be fine. Ooh, they hit the tree. They hit the tree. Let's see if we can get the eagle right here. This is a hole we have to eagle. This isn't a woohoo moment. We have to get an eagle in this hole. .2 divided by 2.4. 1.33 rings. I'm gonna test here. 1.33. I really want to see like where that put me. Yeah, because with that wind, I want to start double checking myself. And if I see like we're in that distance and the ring pull was not quite where I think it should be, I can adjust it. Some of those side winds like that are hard to, like the wind's going to affect it just a titch, but which usually I just go one side of the flagpole or the other. Hole number 4. What is hole number 4? I bet you money that it's not a par 3. I'm just saying. All right. Now it seems to me that my buddy Dunner reintroduced me to a horizon on this hole, because there is a shot where you're down in this zone right here. This is my MO. I want to be as far down into this pocket as I can be, so that I can access, so that when I'm in this area right here, if I bring a sniper with a 3-power ball, you're right at the tip of this fairway pad. And so you're right at the tip, your red line's right there. So you're right at max club and you have plenty of room to work your shot out. But if you come here with a horizon has enough topspin to get you from this rough to the green, and there is a horizon rough bump that you can do. And it is, I mean, here's the thing about a horizon. Even if you got a horizon that's lower developed and it's like 2.4, 2.6, or 3 per ring, if you hit it great to the left or the right, it went, imagine pulling your quarterback out where here's 1 ring. Well, it went, 3 rings over. Whereas if you'd hit 1 ring great to the left with your quarterback, it would have just been that. With your horizon, it is way off trajectory, but you have tons of room here. But if you hit it perfect, it goes right where you hit it. And so just hit perfect. And it's not a bad club. But if you don't hit perfect, expect it to be a ways off. And if it's right on it, then you made a bad adjustment on whatever else you were doing. But there is a shot down there. So if you want to bring a sniper and get down into this, you need to get as far as you can down into the pocket, actually not on that island. So I think the majority of the people, you're going to see a lot of people this week trying to get over here, where they're trying to get like bounce here, get onto the other side and get into this area. I will tell you that you can, and if you use a topspin boost ball, you can definitely get down into this area. I personally don't think the green looks as good coming from this side as it does when you're here, and if you're over here, you take this rough bump option out. I'm not so sure that you can't do it. I know you can't do it with a sniper. Sniper doesn't have enough topspin, but you can do it with a Nirvana or with a. Let's pull a Horizon. Let's pull a Horizon out. Let's put a Horizon in our bag. Our bag of tricks. One of these we're gonna do on the drive. I think to get it down into that area, we want to be pretty precise. I think one of these holes that we play in, it might be this one. If you bring out a big enough ball, you can get up here on the other side, and then you can just use backspin to stick it, as opposed to trying to come off from the side and throw it down there. And I thought that this was the hole that we were playing a couple tournaments ago, but I think it's this one that you can get in front of that line if you bring a 3 or a 4 power ball. And a 4 power ball will help you all the way through. It'll help you, it could potentially help you on the drive, and it will help you on the second shot, especially if you don't get as much distance as you wanted. I don't think I have any, I'll use a dead ball. We'll see if the 2 side spin will be enough, and I want to bring out I think to get into that spot I'm going to need an Apocalypse. Instead of bringing a sniper, I'm going to bring a Horizon at 2.1 per ring at max club. Alright, there we have it. There we have it. Let's go see if we can get this done. We'll go practice. We'll go practice at one time and burn a 4 power ball. Here we go. Pretty sure I'm doing plus 10 on the drive. And it's probably plus 20 or plus 30, because it is a downhill shot. If I can get an opponent. Steve. Here we go, Steve. Steve goes first. Let's see which way Steve's going. I'm pretty sure if you bring out a big enough ball, you can start off on, you can start off in front of the sand and then do what my opponent's doing, just stick it right there with like 2 backspin, maybe 3. I got 2 and a sliver. Didn't move much for the win, but they're going to end up on a perfect. They should end up on the right. If you draw a line through that, they should end up on the right hand side of the line. Pretty nice. 318. That was with 2 backspin, 2 and a sliver. We're doing the same shot, only with a 4 power ball. So I can pull back a little bit from the red line. Pull back to the plus 16 mark. That puts me 1 ring off on that side. And they had 2 and a sliver. I'm going to do just a slightly less than 2. I'm going to do 2 exactly. 2.4 divided by 1.5. 1.76 rings. Getting it perfect. Just lay it up down there. I would like to get a little bit more distance. So like I had 2 backspin on there at 320, I think, and I've probably got 10 or 15 yards in front of me. I'd like to pick up at least 5 of that, at least split the difference. I don't need to be close, but it would be nice to split the difference. And they've got a Cataclysm. I didn't catch where the red line was. With a 4 power ball, I should be able to get my Horizon up to the red line. And I'm going to do -5 to the cup. I'm going to just shoot a straight up shot to the cup. So it's whatever the wind is divided by 2.1. And just take a straight up shot. I think I need to take a little wind off. 2.3 be 1.1 rings. You were right at the red line with a 4 Powerball. 1.1 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. There's 1-1. Hitting it dead center perfect. Should get a good read here if we need to take wind off or add wind or what we need to do. The way the wind was blowing, like plus 2. Straight up plus 0.2. 1.1 times. That'd be like a 10% adjustment. I think I like just adding on the plus 0.2, so it's like something we just need to add on. So we're doing the 10. We're doing a straight up plus 0.2, which would be, I think that'd be, it'd need to be 130. So that'd be a 20% adjustment. That'd be 131. I think I like the straight up plus just the 0.2, but if we did a 20% in that would get us there. All right, we had a look at it. That's what it looks like with the horizon. The rough bump, hole number 5, and we all got to thank Dunner for that shot. I'd forgotten all about horizons. I used a horizon a lot when I first started playing, but I'd forgotten all about them and got reintroduced to horizon from Dunner. Alright, this hole right here really just depends on which way the wind is blowing, and we have no fucking clue what way the wind's blowing. So let's just go out there and see what we got. If we have tailwind, you can do it with a 3 Powerball. If you have headwind, you're going to have to bring out a 5 Powerball. I'm not so sure that a 4 Powerball will help you on tailwind days, but I don't know how much a 4 Powerball will help you on headwind days, because like this is definitely one of those holes that headwind is, if it's a 4 wind, it's pushing against you at 8, maybe even more than 8. If it's a tailwind and it's 4 wind, it's not pushing you forward at 4, it's pushing you forward 8, maybe more than 8. It is really working. Side wind doesn't work as bad. Alright, 4 Powerball, max overpower. You can see with a 5 Powerball here, we brought out a 5 Powerball and we have any kind of tailwind, any kind of wind that's on our side of the fence, man, we can really get over there. And the side spin's really important, so however much topspin you can get on, and that's too much topspin. I'm going to say 5. And then max curl. So I want to be over in this area. And I don't need to do max curl. You can actually do this with an extra mile, but you get that extra rod distance with a 3-3. Let's do almost 4 or 5 and not put the power back in there. We'll time it out, and then we can set the shot up like we want. Let's see what Wanda's going to do. See if Wanda's going to go for the shot over there with a Titan. And with this, even with that little teeny bit of wind, pulling the wind out, there's enough forward moving wind to get you over there, and it will easily push you over there if you put the wind back in. And with a lower power ball, you'll definitely have to use more topspin. You're going to have to put curl on it. I believe you need to put curl on it, but I could be wrong. Excellent, excellent, fantastico. Nice shot. That works. That dog right there, will hunt like 4 topspin. Is it 4? I think it was 4. I'm going to put 1 ring off. My yellow ring off the transition, 2/6. And I'm going to do like 30%. So that'd be like 3/2, 3/3. Be 2 rings and a 5th. Not put the wind back in. And I hit it. That's the worst side to hit it on, is great to the right. It'll end up in the trees and into the sand. I could have hit it great to the left, probably 3 rings and perfect, and maybe 1 great to the right, but that was like a 3 ring great to the right. That is the shot I'm going to be going for, that angle where you can get up there where you're trying to get to where my opponent was. You can actually, if you get it right, you can get onto the green and bleed actually down towards the cup. I can actually say some of the holes that are like holes there where you're shooting trying to get a hole-in-one on a par 4, I've actually came pretty close to getting a hole-in-one on this hole. Alright, that's hole number 4. We know what we're bringing on that. Hole number 6. What are we bringing on hole number 6? That's the question. What do we need? Alright, I'm trying to get up into the shadow of this lamppost so that I have a straight up shot going in. Most people are probably going to be in this zone right here or somewhere in this quadrant if they're not in the sand. And I can use a Kingmaker, practice now, and an APOC. So do I have an APOC with a sniper? I do. 3 power ball. 3 power 3 side spin. I have 2 things going and I'm not getting them. Hold on. Alright, I watched my 30-second ad and I have gray hairs now. Here we go. I was looking on Google trying to find a D&D group here in town. I think I'm ready to DM a group. Alright. There's Max with the APOC, and I was pulling back. I think I was pulling back to like the +10. Maybe I'm pulling back to like the +4. I'm going to pull back to 1, +1, and I'm going to be 3 rings off. 3.5. Let's say there's 4 or 5. Hitting it perfect. And I'd have to bring out a topspin boost ball in order to pick up any more because I just don't have any more topspin. I can't, if I come towards me a little bit more on the tee box and get the camera going here. If I come out any farther in this direction to try and get so that I'm hugging along this line, I'm still ending up in here because I just don't have the topspin to get her done. And there's no way I can make up that distance with an extra mile. With an extra mile, I can end up down there and I'll be low down by the sand. You take the risk of bleeding off into the sand. That's about as much curl as you can get. And you can't put on that much more side spin than 3 to try and bring you around. They need a topspin boost ball, a 3-power topspin boost ball, which I have some if I want to get up there. I've been close. But I'm in a good spot right here, and I think this is another hole that you can probably do a horizon rough bump off of that shot. And I don't have that bag with me, or I would do it. Let's see, where am I at my club? There's min, so I'm at minimum club. There's max, there's mid. I'm at mid club for the shot setup. What do I got to put on it at mid? Be slightly through it. Five rings off. What, two backspin and a sliver of side spin? If I took that shot straight up, and I'm at mid club, so mid club is like 1.1 per ring. So if I did a straight up shot, it'd be the wind divided by 1.1. If I did a straight up shot, we'll take a straight up shot and see, like, which, are we under pulling it or over pulling it, or where are we at? I really wish I could switch club right here. Because I'd love to have a horizon on this and try it out. Because I think there is a horizon rough bump. Now I will say this, that horizon rough bump might, like, let's say it does work out, you're putting that sand heavily into play, because if you hit that rough bump great to the right or screwed up to the right hand side, you could take the risk of coming out of the rough weird and ending up in that sand. So you're putting traps into play, because that club at that distance hits like way the fuck off. Okay, so it should be 3.45 rings. I'm going to do 3.5. I'm at mid. It's kind of like out in the open. Couple backspin and half of a left-hand side spin, and then find the spot. 3.45. Okay, there's 3. There's the 4.5. Hitting it dead center perfect. Get in the hole and see how far off it is. Smoked it. If my speed would have been right, it would have been right there. Right there, but the way the wind was blowing, I need to pull it like plus 0.1. Hit a club plus 0.1, maybe 0.2. Probably 0.2 if you really wanted to. It'd be better to be right at the flagpole. 0.1 might just put you more over the cup. Alright, winner, winner, chicken dinner. My opponent beat me. Practice now. Hole number 7. What is hole number 7? Okay, what is this? This is Century Harbor. It's a par 4. If I remember correctly on this hole, we were laying it up right here, and then we were coming at it with a grizzly. My recollection is that, because like getting over here, I tried. Oh my gosh, that felt so good. I in my recollection, in my memory banks, I think that I tried to get over here, and I got into some good spots, but I was behind those freaking trees, and they were right in my way. This was actually the shot to take, and I think we took that with just like our super accurate stuff, and I don't think I have. Let me go. Hey, let me get out of here. Let me get out of the mess. And it seemed like I was using this bag, but I had a rock. Brought out 100% accurate club. And the second shot, man, I can't remember if it was with a grizzly or if I could get it with a grizzly. It seems like I could get it with a grizzly, that you didn't have to bring out a Goliath, but it might be a Goliath hole. I'm going to bring a grizzly, and we'll see whether or not I can get it done. I'll take that same ball. I think I have a trade in. I do. See if we can get an APOC 2 days in a row. It'll never happen, but let's see if it does. I got a Horizon and a Grim Reaper. It's going into the bank. Going into the bank. Save it for a rainy day. Trying to get to 10,000 to see if it rolls over, or see if their math goes that high. If I start losing losing ones because it doesn't roll over, I will definitely start. I will definitely open it up. That might be the day. All right, play the whole play. Got so much shit going on. I have two things going. Like, what is the deal? Let me make sure those two things are going, because like this is crazy. Customized tees. I have selected here. Fully reloaded. I shouldn't have bought that one. I should have bought this one because this one's 500. What was I thinking? Or I'd already bought that one today, and it was already. I bought it because it seemed like it was 500 last time I bought it, but I bought it once here just a little while ago. I guess is that what I've been using? I started off with 3. Now I'm still, and I've had to already do this once. This is total bullshit. I should be able to go into the store. Hey, we have a store down here, Playdemic. Maybe you're not aware of your stuff. Like, hey, knock knock, Playdemic. Like, you have a store down here, right? And we can't buy the shit that you sell. Like, you're a ball manufacturer. We can't buy balls all the time. We can't come in here and buy a tournament pack of practice tokens. 750 gems, 1,000 gems, and you get 9 katanas or 9 quasars, or you get 2 of the special balls that week. Some shit, right? Here, have a taste. See if these will work on holes. We recommend these balls on holes number 6 and 9. That would be nice to be able to come in here and just buy practice tokens. Wow. What a novel idea. That is novel. So now I have to go watch another video, which I won't watch. I'm telling you right now. Like, I'm going to turn the video off, and I'm going to hit the ad, and I'm going to get up and go do something, and I'll come back in like 5 minutes, and then I will not do the thing because I'm not watching the video. I'll be back. All right, that was however long ago. Here we go. I have a practice token now. Let's see if we can get one. We're almost, I think, a 6-shooter that has all 6 chambers full. I think my odds of getting one are pretty good, but with Playdemic, it could be, like a 50-50 shot. But I'm pretty sure that the first time I get one, and then it's a fucking random deal, would be nice. Think of all the different ways that they could monetize the game, and we would love it. And I believe that they need to change the game, like, so that we can have, it doesn't seem like people have fun anymore. All they do is we're playing tournaments. And I know that there's a bunch of people that still play one-on-one and still do the thing, but I would say that it's like a 50-50. Half the players out there just don't even play anymore. They just play in tournaments. Fuck, you can practice all you want. You practice the whole 40 times and then go out there and do the deal. Yeah, if I remember correctly, we were just trying to bridge the gap. +7 mark. I'm going to put on 1 backspin. I'm at the +10 mark. And I need to put on 2 backspin. Two rings off. 3-6. I'm going to do 10%. That's almost 4 rings. Should get a little lined up with it. At least be in the same freaking plane or universe. One ring great to the left. I think with as much curl as I put on there. Get out! I have to look at the way the wind was going there. I don't think I pulled out near enough wind. I mean, I know I hit it on that side. It was pushing it that way. I don't think I took out near enough wind. See if my opponent can get to the magic spot. I'm going to hit to the magic spot. Hitting from the rough. I'm going to see what we have from the rough because it's important to know that stuff. Don't ever get discouraged when you're practicing and you end up in the rough. It's not that big a deal. You can just chip it over to where you're going to hit it, but at least now you get to see from the rough, like, what could you do? So if you had that happen at a tournament, you'd know, okay, I can recover from here. Let's just get on the green, get our birdie and eagle or whatever the hell we're trying to get and move to the next hole. Or, hey, holy shit, I'm in big ass trouble. We got plenty of room. Plenty of room for the rough bump. There is a rough bump here, and it is a Goliath rough bump. I'm pretty sure that we weren't gonna want to use a Goliath. We might be able to use a. So we got plenty of room to actually do the shot from there with the Nirvana right at max club. But where we're really trying to get is like right here in the deal. And so from here, I think we have a really killer rough bump, and I'm 100% sure that we were adding some wind on. I'm going to start off at 10%. Times whatever the wind is, divided by wherever the hell I'm at in my club. If I'm at max club, it should be 0.9 per ring. And I don't play it right, so it's 0.9 per ring if you got a low wind ball, but if you got like a 3 power ball, then it goes up to 1 per ring. But I don't know. Some of those clubs, like if you change a number on them just slightly, all of a sudden you start hitting. I don't play my Kingfisher like it is in the book either. I have a lot of success with my Kingfisher. I played my the deal is when I upgraded my Hornet to level 8 or level 9 and maxed it out, it got to 100%, and it's like that. It's where in some cases it's more than 100% accurate. It's counterintuitive. It's so freaking accurate. It's on the other side. I think you needed I do have room on my red line. I'm not even going to put any spin on it. 1.9 divided by 0.9, 2.32 rings. There's 2, 3, 2. Oh shit! And it slipped. Oh, I gotta play that one again in order to get in that spot. We want to see what that shot looks like. We really do want to practice that shot. We want to get our one shot in, so we know we're in the right spot. We can't get it done with a grizzly. A bigger side spin ball helps because you can get further. You can clear yourself paths away from the sand. There's a spot to the right, and if you got a bigger side spin ball, like a 4 or a 5 side spin ball, you can get a much better look at it. Let's go back and play that hole one more time. Are you shitting me? You got to be you're shitting me, right? So I have this practice pin on. I still have 3 shots left in it, and I have this selected. I had this selected before, and it still has 6 shots left in it. So this didn't go off. So like this is exactly what I was saying. I bought a 6 shot from Playdemic. I should be guaranteed the first time, but only Playdemic could fuck that up. Like really? I can't just go into the store and just buy a tournament pack. I want to play all 9 holes, so I pay 750 gems and I buy 9 holes, 9 practice tokens. Is it really got to be that hard? I'm just saying, as a customer, I'm just saying, does it really have to be that hard? Do you always have to pull out the stick every time you deal with us customers instead of like giving us a carrot? The carrot would be as, hey, when you want that, you have it available to you. You can go get it. Is it too much to ask? Practice. Practice now. Hole number 7. Okay, hold on. Here we go. I have to watch another video. And I've already so far today paid 700 gems, 750 or 1750 gems to get practice tokens. And I still don't have enough practice tokens to play the round. I'm still having to get free ones. And this is my 3rd time of having to get a free one. Here we go. All right, that was a horrid experience. It went through the 30-second screen, and then it went through a 10-second timer for you to look at their end caption, and then it went through a 5-second wheel spinner. Yeah, all right. Practice, practice, practice. We're going to practice this all one more time. I want to get in the right spot and take that shot to the cup that I totally jerked off there. Let's try not to end up in the rough this time. Let's see if we can set the drive up right. I'm going to actually use my calculator this time. I'm going to do a 30% because I think I only did like 10 or 20 the last time, but so we'll move it up the scale. Times the wind divided by 1. If I can get an opponent. You can make this easier. People are practicing, they're practicing. Like, what's it matter if somebody comes out and they're practicing and they have a freaking, we don't win anything, so they come out and they bring out an APOC 2700 and you just started playing and you're at 1 trophy. Who cares? Like, nobody's winning anything. You can get to see what better clubs look like. Now you can bring out bigger stuff if you got the right kind of wind and try and land on that island and bridge the gap over to the other side and get over there, but I've done that and it's hard not to be behind those trees. And those trees are in play. My opponent's going to see if they can make it over. And I'm pretty sure there's like a 10% adjustment. It might be like a 15, but I'm pretty sure there's an adjustment. And that could have been what they were trying to do as well. You can get in between clubs here. It almost feels like we were bringing a katana. I'm pretty sure we were bringing a katana because you can see where my red line is. Like I can get ahead of it. I think with this kind of wind though, that a kingmaker will help. Double backspin. Okay, 3.9, 3.9, maybe 5.1 rings. There's the ones built in, so there's 5 right back to my red line. I'm going to lean just a little. And I hit it great to the left. The leaning the first bounce will be great to the left, and then it'll end up where it was going to be because I put that little bit of curl on there. It made this kind of an arc, just one clip off. Hey, Buster. No talking to the neighbor dog. Come on. My opponent's got a sniper. I'm going to do 10% times whatever the wind is divided by 0.9, which is where I'm at. Should be a max grizzly shot. My opponent got in a good spot. Let's do all our wind math here. 2.3 divided by 0.9, 2.81 rings. And that's too bad. Because I don't have enough side spin to get me there. If I ride my red line where I have enough, it would be divided by 1.2, be 2.1 rings. I don't think I have enough between me and the red line. Getting it perfect. In the hole. Now I had to slide across my red line, and like you can see, like where I put my grid up down there at that angle, I got to my red line and I still had like half a ring, quarter of a ring, so I slid it over into that hollow to try and make up the angle that I had been pulling at. but it should have came in there a little hot, and it didn't. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about it. But a katana right there would have been better, and I could have done the same thing on the drive. The drive actually might be easier, because instead of trying to be so close up here and then bring it around a harder corner, I have to stay farther back and just hit it straight out onto it, because getting onto it's the key point. But if you got a katana, your red line in here, you're definitely going to be in your sniper. You're going to still be at minimum sniper, especially if you get good in there, but you'll still be at minimum sniper, but you'll always have room to work out the wind if you've got tailwind and you've got to pull against your minimum club. So minimum sniper, I did minimum sniper at 10%. All right, we have a look at that. We have a look at that hole. What's our next victim? Hole number 8, par 4. All right, let's look at hole number 8. Park to Perry. Okay, so we have a shit ton of ways we can play this. There is a max overpower hook shot you can do from here if you got even mid-level extra mile with a power. I think you have to have a Titan, or a Kingmaker, but you might be able to get it done with a katana. And you're doing a max overpower hook shot that, like, your goal is to get out in this area, and you've got like a max wedge to get to the cup. The cup is kind of difficult on this side because if you're facing it, it's a hill like this, and the flagpole's in the middle, and it's not quite that steep. It's probably that steep. So if you're from distance coming at it, it's hard to get below it where you can come at it like this. You have to come at it from the top in order to get your ball guide right, and because you can't. If you can use backspin, you can get up closer to it and try and keep your ball guide straight. But if you're trying to float it to the cup, you'll have to follow the hill down to it, and you'll get a big arc in your swing. The other way is to start down in here and just try and drive it up into that area. But I'm going to go for right here in front, just laying it up in front where it's a short chip to get to the cup. And you have to get into this area. I think it's better served on any round to just bring out a power 5 ball instead of trying to play with the wind. So like if you got tailwind, you can probably get it done with a 3 power ball max overpower, but with a 5 power ball you wouldn't have to do any overpower. If it's headwind, you may still have to do overpower. You wouldn't be able to do it with the 3 power, but with the 5 power you can do it. I'm going to bring a Zerk. It always cracks me up when people are like, you guys are playing that shit and then you're bringing out like big balls. Hey, you know what Playdemic does? Playdemic sells balls, and they sell them to everybody. It's amazing. They sell them to even people like us. Okay, if I'm in my wood, I got bigger problems than the drive. I should come out here and spend some practice tokens. Respond and let me know if you'd want me to. I come out here and I'll shoot each one of the shots that you can try on this hole where you can do the max overpower hook. It'll probably take me 1 or 2 times to find the spot. I might be able to catch it. I think I know where the spot is to start off, and you can get over, and then you can tighten that spot up as the week goes on. I used to hit to the other side, but this side over here, especially with the advent of as many 5 power balls, and especially the top spin boost balls, you can do stuff that you weren't able to do in the past. Alright, I get to go first. I want to start off over here. So I think I only need like 1.5 top spin. I want to be 4 rings off of that transitional surface. 3, 2. It's 1.5 per ring. I'll do 3, 2. I'll do a max curl shot. Ran out of time, that's fine. That's fine, that's why we practice. My opponent's just going to blast it out there. They just want to see if it'll make it, get in the hole. I think that shot from right there might not be too bad. But I can tell you, if you end up on the green over in the other side, on the new pin placement, that's the hole is over there. So 4 rings off of that transition on the right. Max side's been 2. Man, I think I had like, I'm gonna put 1 backspin on it. It really feels like it needs to be backspin. 2.6. It's 1.5 per ring. So there's 1.5. There's 2. There's 3. Isn't it perfect? Let's see where this first bounce is. In the clear, I did a blind curl shot, just trying to lay it up out there in front. I could go just a little bit so that I didn't flirt with disaster when I came around the bend. I could afford to be a little bit closer to the cup. That put me to the left on that shot. So I could set it up just slightly more to the left and give myself a little bit of clearance from those sand traps. I actually kind of, in my opinion, over curled it. It's close. That's the area I'm looking to get into right there every time. So I can use a little bit of backspin. But that was doing max overpower on a day when there was, you know, not too bad a wind. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. What is hole number 9? Yeah, every time it's going to be a little different on that hole on how we have to approach it to try and get up into that spot. I've had maybe 60% luck, like getting into the spot, and then like if I get to the spot, I'm in the hole. So like once from here, I may not be at 100, but I got to be pretty freaking close. And I make this shot right here about 60% of the time. But when I'm out here, I can get to this spot quite often. But the problem is that I don't know that I was at 60%. I think I was at like 50-50 shot from out here to make it in. But I am better with my wedge now than I used to be. So, especially when we're up close, I have enough confidence in the numbers that I'm willing to do it. We'll have to see. You got to bring out bigger stuff in order to go on this shot. You can bring out a 3-power ball, 3 side spin right here. You can bring out a Kingmaker. You can bring out a Titan. A Titan might put you just a little bit higher in the pocket, and you can overshoot it coming this way where you get bounce number 1, bounce number 2. So like a top spin boost ball, maybe if you got low developed clubs, but for anybody else, I don't think you need to bring one. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. I honestly believe that I was trying to launch it from here and do a rough bump and just bleed out and be right here and I really wanted to be in this quadrant, but it's difficult because you got more rough to get through here. This is the best place to come out, but when you get out to the other side, it would be better to the right, but it's hard to get there. It's dangerous to get there. And this one is not guaranteed, but it is a better, cleaner shot if you can launch off of this pad to get across this and rough bump it. So obviously we're talking about a big power ball. I think that you can overdrive this. I think you can get deep enough down in here that you can overdrive it. So you got to be concerned with that, especially if the wind is blowing 5 and it's, you know, doubled, and you're just pulling out a couple rings and doing max overpower, and then all of a sudden you're in the rough. You'll want to take that shot several times. Let's go look at it. Let's go look at it once again. This is such. Okay, as a consumer, this is why a lot of times I don't shoot practice rounds. I wait until the tournament starts and I use the first qualifying round and I can shoot it because I can play all the holes for free and I don't have to go through all this crap, customize. So we have that selected and we've used 1, so we have 5 left in that one. How many do we have left in the one here? We have 3. So we've gotten 3 so far. And I've had to watch videos 3 times already. And the one didn't go off when it had 6. So it had a misfire while it had 6 in it. And then it fired off one, probably while I was holding the chamber, trying to clear it. And now we're back in the deal where I have to hit and get another watch ad, and I can't watch an ad. So the only way I can get it at this point is the golf pass, or I have to go out on the course. So I guess you're going to get some bonus content. I guess I have to go out on the course and see if I can actually get we'll bring out a quasar, and I'll play with my number 1 bag. I'm going to switch up this bag right here, put that horizon in there. That'll be my utility bag for the week. And then I can switch this back to a snipper. We got the ball. Alright, I'll have to go play some one-on-one until I can get a practice token. And I'm going to take you along for the ride, because like it wouldn't be fair if I was the only one that got to do it. And we'll play some Tour 7. We'll play some Tour 7. I haven't played Tour 7 in a long time. They're hitting me with the stick. There's never a carrot when you're dealing with Playdemic. They always bring out the stick when they're playing with us. They never bring out a carrot. Is this the right hole? This isn't even the right hole. Oh, no, that's because we had to go play. But this hole is in the tournament. Or we're playing it from the Pro Tee, so we'll get to see what it looks like. I've been playing Odd and Pro, just to try and get him up so that he's in Tier 3 Pro, so I can try and get matched up with my buddy Dunner. He's in a Tier 3 Pro. So I took him up to Expert 3, and I think my buddy at one point was Masters, but I don't think he's a Master now. What can you get down with an APOC? I think just getting down there into that one. I'll bet you could do a max overpowered hook though. One ring great to the left, I don't mind that. I'll mind it on this end, but like right there in the middle, it wasn't a big deal. It pulled me away from that rough, and if I didn't pull out enough for the wind, see if we can make it from there with a I gotta remember I'm playing one-on-one. Jeez, I thought I was playing like the tournament hole and was like, what the hell am I doing on this tournament hole in practice? It threw me off. My opponent got close. There's got to be. Let's see what. Look at how much of a hill there is behind that. That is brutal. I'm at max club. I can get way down on it too. It's 2. I'm just going to do max club, which is 2 per ring. 2 rings great to the right. I was going to hit it one way or the other. That is a good way. I am definitely 2 rings great to the right. They got in all kinds of shit up there at the top. I don't know if I like coming in like that. It'd be different from the, if you could get out there, you'd be farther to the right. It seems to me that there is a way to come at it. If you come at it with, if you get to the other side over there, you can really follow your ball guide down on this hole. I didn't like that putt at all. That's the first time I've actually seen that dynamic kind of putt where you're up the hill. That is not good. Definitely Kmart sucks. I think going to the left is always the way to go on that. Even if you can't get all the way out there, that shot on the other side I think is better. And we're water and sand, so I'm going to do, where am I at in my club? There's Max. There's Mand. So 4.1 times 3.82 rings. Hitting it perfect. Not even close. And I did like a 40%. A max club. Usually when you're going over wind or you're going over sand and water like this, these shots coming into the cup, like especially on due headwind and due tailwind days, it is like massively affecting the ball. See if my opponent can get closer than like 75 yards. And they hit a 3 ring great to the right. And that definitely threw them. You can see, and I think I hit in that similar area where the terrain, I hit off on the right hand side of the terrain and it was really hilly there. And it threw the ball immediately. Go back and rewind and look at their second bounce. It hit right on the sand was here. This is sand, and it hit right on the edge of that mound like this, and instead of going on a regular bounce, it took a jaunt to the right. Wow, I got +1 bonus. Look at that, I can play hole 9. Holy crap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Once you pick one, then you can't change. Like, I really kind of felt like a slightly frowny face. Play hole number 9. All right. We're going to actually get to practice the hole that we looked at 5 hours ago, and I don't even remember what it is. What is the hole? All right. Is that hole number 9? That is hole number 9. Unbelievable. How did we actually go out and play a one-on-one and get the hole I was looking for? What kind of shithouse luck is that? That's awesome. I do wish that if Playdemic went back to more of a practice thing where like, hey, you can practice down here and get these holes, that they made it so that we got those holes more often, because we're more apt to continue playing and continue using resources, because we're less like, man, I almost got that hole figured out if I can catch it one more time, and we're getting the holes. Like, we're going to play more and we're going to burn through more resources, as opposed to getting fucking bored because we're not getting the holes we wanted and then giving up on it and then going, fuck it, I'm just going to go do some other shit. I'm not getting anything I'm looking for, and I'm just like, you know, I could get other shit done. And once again, they brought out the stick, and what we're looking for is a carrot. I'm gonna get a gold star above my name. Somebody from Playdemic's gonna comment on the channel and say, okay, it's all weighed against whether or not it appeases or helps out the whales. It marginally affects me because, like, I'm not at the top where I have shit tons of resources, but I am in the middle where I've got a big, like when the club card trading came out, we talked about that with Tommy maxing on all of his clubs. Like, I had maybe 3 rares that I didn't have enough club cards to max out, and obviously I was still working on epics because I'm still working on those epics. I don't have any epic maxed out, but I did get all of my rares got an extra level. They went from level 8 to level 9, and the very first day I think there was 3. A Guardian was 1, and there might have been 4 or 5, and they were all like the level 5, 6, and 7 level rares that I still needed a few on. But I had an extra mile 9 the first day that an extra mile 9 was available, because I just had that many resources sitting around, extra club cards from over the years of playing that I didn't really care about, but somebody bitched about it, and I got to spend that resource. I voted for putters at the time, way back in the day. See, this is the whole point right here. Like, I'm practicing. There's got to be another person out there that's practicing this hole. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're a Masters 2700 or if they're a brand new player and have 2 trophies. Like, I should be able to get matched up with them, because the whole deal is we're out there practicing. We're just playing the course. It's been so long that my screen's blacked out. Hole number 9, practice. 1 practice token. I mean, how hard can it be to just match me up? What's the harm in matching me up in practice? Like, what's going to happen? I'm going to go down there and I'm going to get on that par 4, that par 5. I'm going to get it done in 3. They're still going to get to practice all the important shots. The only shot they have left is the putt. And they might be doing it to me. I may have been actually practicing the hole and doing what I'm doing here and missing some of my shots. It's really fun when me and Dunner get hooked up and we start playing, because like I miss the shot and I'm trying out different balls, and then he tries out different balls, or we picked a spot and then he's like, what ball works best in that spot, or what kind of spin would I have to put on it? And then the next time through, then I set that shot up with that spin and then take the shot, and then he does the deal. And sometimes we take opposite shots. He takes one fairway and I take another, and I see what I can get done in that fairway. You've ever seen anybody out there that wants to practice like that? Are you really practicing? Okay, we're practicing. So like, if my opponent takes time and times out or does that, I mean, how often do you see that shit happen? It seems to me that if you bring out, which way's the wind blowing? Wind blowing with us. But if you bring out the right shit, you can get down in here with a power 5 ball. I'm going to try just a berserk to start off with. And I think you can actually do this with the number 1 bag. Get down in that area. Now the wind, you can see if I do max overpower where that puts me. And I'd really like the wind to push me forward that, but I think the wind's going to actually, I'm going to leave the wind in. I'm going to take it out. And put the forward movement back in, and not do any overpower, and see if that gets me out there, or a little bit of overpower. One ring great on the inside, 1 ring great to the left. I don't think it'll kill me here. Man, it's close. I'm trying to bleed off into that area right there and just do that, because from right there, I think you gotta, that is, if that's not just a flat, straight up shot, there never was one. Like, anytime you see a hole where we've added on like +5 or +10 and you see what the difference is, this hole right here, if this hole isn't a 0 addition, maybe a +1 or some shit like that, but like if we are not doing anything at all on this hole other than just hitting it at club, we should be in the hole every time. We should be. I mean, fuck, that is flat. There can't be a foot of elevation difference. Okay, there's max club. There's min. So there's mid. With the Kingfisher, can I get there with the Kingfisher? No. Even if I ran the top spin, I'm gonna have to run it as a grizzly. If I want to stay in front of that sand, be 3 rings off that sand. How much spin would I have to put on it? It intersects right there. And what is that? 4.5 backspin. 2 or so right hand side spin or left hand side spin. 4.5 and 2. We'll try that. See, you see some opponent do that right there. They give you a shot, so you could go down here and find a spot, set your ball up, and take your time. Like, you're not in a hurry here. You don't have to take the shot. Like, get your stuff, get way down on it, and look at the angles and look and see what the thing is. Take your time, and then okay, hey, that's a good spot right there. And then pull the ball up and look at your settings and see what kind of spin you put on it, and then just time out. Your opponent just timed out. They gave you a spot. But no, we're going to practice. If you see people out there practicing, practice. Get your money's worth. Shit, those fuckers want us to practice by ourselves. I will tell you, if they start letting us practice by ourselves, which, like I've said, is illegal in some states. So it was like 4.5, maybe 2. Just trying to stay as far. I'm at mid grizzly. That's like 1 per ring. 4.7. I'm gonna just do a straight up 4.7. There's 4.7. We'll see how far off that is. Hitting it perfect. Just a little teeny bit more backspin, and I needed to pull it just a little, like +0.2. I think I'm just going to do that shot +0.2. And we'll see where it is. Instead of adding on a percentage onto the hole, just add on. See if that number is a constant. Or if that's the only number they're changing. +0.2 puts you right on the cup. +0.1 puts you on the inside. With no +0.1, you just blaze the cup. All right, that's it. That's looking at all the holes. That's what they look like. I do think let's go back and look at some of those. Like that hole right there, I do think that shot of trying to blast it from here and rough bump it out and bleed out and take that shot can be worked on. And you can see what I was talking about early in the video, that being in this quadrant lets you come in a little bit more like this to the cup. So that area that I was trying to get into where I was having the side spin issues, a 4 side spin ball would work really well. I was trying to get into this area as opposed to being right out here in front. Because if you're right out here in front of the sand, like, you've got more angles of wind that are going to make you get over the sand. But as the round goes on, or changing winds, if we've got a pocket right here, this pocket's bigger, so we pick up some wind angles where we don't have to adjust the sand. We have a much better shot from that. But I like this. I want to get down into that area. I have tried to get over here and had varying success. There's risks over here because if you hit and you get a really good run and you bleed out, you could run off because you run out of fairway faster. But you can also have to go a lot farther to get out of the rough. And so while you think you have enough because you got quite a ways out here, if you get one bounce deeper in the rough, you could end up not getting out of the rough. And you can't recover from down here. It's not a problem. You don't want to fuck up here. You don't want to overshoot this. Like if you overshoot it, that's a big problem. If I remember correctly, go out there and just drive it down there on a practice day and just drive it into the rough right down at the end. Overshoot it. If you don't overshoot it, overshoot it and then take the shot, I don't think you can make it. I think the deal is that I'm not sure that you can make it over to here so that you can get one bounce and then try and run all of Nirvana's topspin. I think you might be able to get over there. But if you have to bounce off of this, if you're in the sand and have to bounce off this with a Spitfire, then you're talking about just laying it up and then trying to give yourself a good shot at it. I like our odds on that one. I like what I'm seeing. Seems like this hole we definitely have a shot. We have a shot. I think the best way is right here, but you do have to bring out good stuff. But this isn't a bad shot from here, and I do believe because of the way if you play a rapier, you can't really run topspin to get to the hole here. You have to play it like an in-bringer where you have to put on the couple backspin and get right up close to it. And so you're going to be playing it at max club. And so this shot is definitely tougher than this because this is just a short chip with that same rapier. That is definitely how I'm going to play that hole. But you have to bring out bigger stuff. Hole number 7. I'm going to do, I think we were doing the layup on this, right? We were trying to get onto this pad with a rock. And I really think that you need to bring out a katana. I think this is a hole we can play with a 2-power ball. Obviously, if a katana works because it's got 3 side spin, but if you've got a 2-power ball that's got 4 side spin and low end, I mean, that's a great hole or precision because you got a nice look, rough bump look at the cup on this hole. Very nice. We have a great opportunity to pick up a shot on that. Hole number 6. All right, we have a good opportunity to pick up a shot, and I'm not so sure when we were out there that if you brought out a horizon, like I'm trying to get. Let's be realistic about the shots here. The next time I play this hole, I'm going to play it with a horizon because I want to see if there's a horizon rough bump here. But what I've been trying to do is get out here to this, and I have. If we split the difference here, I've ended up in the sand over here as many times as I've ended up along the shadow. But most of the time, I'm right out in this area. I don't have enough in order to get me there. I've got a 3 side spin ball, but I ran out of topspin. This is where it runs out. But sometimes I catch it just a little better and it rolls out. But this area right here, I actually have opened up this rough bump with a horizon. But if I get to the area that I've actually been trying to shoot to, I kind of take that shot out because now it's much better to go. That's the whole reason I've been trying to get out here is because you have a nice clean shot to the cup. You can start anywhere you want here. Like if your minimum club is here, you can start at minimum club and run topspin. You can start at mid club and put on a couple backspin. You can play this hole in multiple different ways and you don't have any obstructions. And so like you can get a run at the cup that you want just by putting your ball in this position out here on the course. But from this position, you do have a rough bump, and I think you can make it with a horizon. I think you put the sand into play. So like if you were starting in this area trying to go down towards the cup, this hill that's here, if you hit great to the right, it's not just like, hey, I hit great to the right and I got plenty of room. You hit great to the right on a different side of the hill. And so if you hit on the apex or on the right hand side of that hill, it's going to make the ball go to the right, and you could easily end up on anything great to the right with the horizon because they're so inaccurate. I mean, even when it's upper developed, it's 2.1 per ring, so it's basically an extra mile. And so if you're coming down into this area and bounce number 1, if you're 1 ring off, it's 2.1 rings on a rock or a quarterback, 100% accurate club. And so think about how bad off you'd be if you hit 2 rings great to the right plus some with your rock. you would be like, holy shit, I'm in trouble. Well, you're going to be in trouble in the horizon. All right, what's another hole? We have I think we have great opportunities on every hole here. I think this is going to be another one of those tournaments. We have an opportunity to get on and one here, or right off with the chip going this direction. If you go across this and try and bleed out in here, which I think you're going to see, it's probably going to be 50-50. You're probably going to see half the people going for it and half the people just laying it up right here and going for this shot. But the deal is, if there is an opportunity to get on and one, you got to go for the opportunity to get on and one. There's going to be too many people that are going to make it from this side. Now, there's going to be a bunch of people that make it from over here, and so they got the same thing done. But there's going to be some people that went for over here that didn't make it and have consistently not been making it. And it's like, hey, fuck, if you're going to consistently not make it, why don't you go for the side that you can just get on and one? And be like a 50%er over there. That means 50% of the time you get this hole. You get it right 100% of the time. That's a great hole to pick up a shot on, because we can get on and one. This hole right here, I think this is definitely a horizon rough bump. I think of all of the shots I can think of in the game, this hole right here, if you can lay yourself up in the right spot here and doing the horizon rough bump, and I think that a 4-power ball works better. It gives you room on your red line to get past this area so you can wedge up. And I think I put backspin on in order to find the spot here. I might have put on like maybe one tops. No, I think I put on like 1 or 2 backspin, and I could have put on a little bit less to try and get a little bit closer, but I had plenty of room on my red line with a 4-power ball to do the rough bump, and I would have been able to work out headwind with a horizon. And I have made that shot with the horizon, and it is definitely makeable. Hole number 3. This is another hole we have a great opportunity. Hooking it around, doing the max overpower or curl shot, not a hook, just a curl. And I suppose you could do a max overpower hook shot here, but you can get it done if you've got a big curl. If you don't have big enough curl clubs, you could bring out there probably is a max overpower hook shot that you can do with like an extra mile. There is a pad. I know for a while my buddy Dunner was trying to hit over to this little pad right here and then just chip it on, like coming through this area, and instead of trying to bring it this direction, they were trying to get that forward distance so they could put on topspin to do a second bounce rough bump and just bleed off onto this island and then chip it in. And it was like a mid inbringer, 3/4 inbringer. It wasn't even a full club. It might have been half. Yeah. I've seen some people do it this week where your red line is up here, like if you pulled back to this area and you ran max topspin, like if you brought out a big enough ball to get you out into this area right here, and if that area was in front of this, like if you brought out an APOC or whatever your longest hitting club as far as topspin goes, because that topspin, the difference between 6 and 8, just like that deal, but like it stretches it out. So a 6 might be here, but an 8 might be here, where it stretches it out a little bit because it's got to pick up that topspin on the other end. So each one of these bounces is a little farther. So, it's a bigger deal. Try and get into that pocket and try and hit it through. You could probably just do a rough bump through here. I think if you had to bridge this gap, that you'd be carrying too much speed to try and slow it down, although there is a hill up here. And if you got your speed just right, where you could actually bounce in this area once, bounce on the other side twice, and then like here's third, if you could get it to come around, it would float down that hill and come down towards the cup. But I think it would probably, if you bridged it completely, you'd be carrying too much speed, maybe. I think your best bet here would probably end up being a rough bump, but you could get yourself like out into this area, but you can make it around the bend. 4 side spin ball works better. That should be a guarantee. We have to do whatever it takes with the clubs that you have in your bag. You have to bring out whatever it takes in order to get an eagle on this hole every time, because there's going to be way too many people at the top of the bracket that eagle this hole way too many times. Every time. They make it around the bend. They get into the spot right here, they do the chip, they make the eagle, and they move along little doggy. The only variable that they have is where they're going to end up, because they can control it around the bend, but it gets a little iffy as far as like, hey, I'm going to be in this area, but I couldn't tell you whether I was going to be on the green or off the green, or up top or down low. There is going to be a little variable in landing. Hole number two. Of all of the par fives out there, I will say that this might be, in this configuration with this flagpole, this might be my favorite par five in the game. And one of the things that I've noticed that with more curl, now I brought out a 3 power ball with an APOC, and I think I started off on this side, right? I didn't do the bounce over. I think my opponent did the bounce over and ended up in the shit right here. And I'm actually trying for the little light pole, but I actually got up into this shadow right here. I was somewhere up in this quadrant and was really close. Was definitely at minimum club. And normally, if I'm back where this shadow is, I'm in like mid sniper. I have enough room. I have enough room up here that I can give myself some space to try and get down on the deal. If I remember correctly, I usually stay, and I think what I tried to do on this one is, you can see there's a ridge right here. Let me get a little closer. There's a ridge right here. And so when you're coming in at this angle and you're in this spot, there's a kind of a flat area back here. You can get closer to it. You can get like down in this pocket right here where you're staying close to the edge, so you're trying to bring the ball up to the cup. And you can try and put on, if you can set the shot up in the spot where you can put on left-hand side spin, that's like a critical spot, because that shot's going, you're now down on the bottom going up to the cup. You're going to get a straighter run than if you're doing this. If you're doing this, you can carry a little bit more speed on this type of shot too, especially if you hit the flagpole. If you hit the flagpole, it will typically go in if it's carrying a lot of speed. This is a great hole right here. We have a lot of great holes in this. I think this might be one of my favorite par fives. I love this hole. I've hit a ton of albies on this hole from that flagpole with sniper. But the shot, setting it up with the APOC and not trying to, because I'm not getting all of my topspin and my extra mile, and I've got more curl in it, I'm able to actually get out into here because I can put all of the topspin on. Here with the extra mile, I don't think I can put all the topspin on, or I'll bleed off into this rough. I'm not sure how much I like this area, but I think I do, because I am like in minimum club, but I think I could actually pick up too much. So like trying to standardize that shot. So I was, and if you've watched a lot of my stuff in the past, I can guarantee you like 90% of my shots were right there. I was just trying to get into that spot because that gave me that window on the other side going towards the cup. It gave me the window I was looking for down here to set my shot up. But getting up into this quadrant right here has changed it this much distance. And so now I'm at minimum club instead of being, close to my front red line. I think my red line before was like, I get it, if I got into the right spot, I'd have this much red line. So I could, if I'd pull back and actually use these back ones and then try and come to the cup, try and keep it as flat as possible. I might have to put just a titch of right hand side spin on it, but trying to keep it so that I don't have to put hardly any. Or if I can, like I said, putting on left hand side spin. You can get up close, but this ridge makes you have to set it in more, because it drops off really hard on that ridge. So if you don't pull for the wind right and you catch that edge, it'll force the ball to go off in this direction, and you'll be way the hell off. You can ride the hill and come back down to the cup, and that's what most people are going to do during the week. But I want to try and get a run to go up to the cup or come right at it. I think that area will work, but I've only been able to be in that area like 4 or 5 times. All right, I like this. I like the holes in this tournament. Still have one more, hole number 1. Yeah, this hole right here we definitely need to have, or we on that day we want to bring out, even if it's a slight bit of headwind, bring out a topspin boost 5-power ball, getting bounce number 1, bounce number 2, bounce number 3 up here at the top. I have bounced over this and hit the other side and ended up on the rough on the other side, but I would rather do that and take that shot than like try and lay it up and try and go at it. And if you take the shot in a headwind day and you don't quite make it, you may end up in the rough, or you may end up right up here at the top. Or on those days you could bite the bullet and just lay it up at the top. Bring out the same stuff and just lay it up. But I'm going to go for the green every day, no matter which way the wind's blowing. Because I'd rather be down here close, having gone for it, and have to take a rough shot, which I have. All I have to do is hit perfect and it'll go in the hole, than to lay it up out here and take my chances. That's just me. All right, thanks for watching. That was the Metropolitan 9-hole cup. That was my practice round. So now I can go back. This is why it's so important to record your own video, because I did a bunch of shit right there, so I can go back and I can look at all those holes and I can make my notes. And then if I was going to go out and play the first qualifying round, now I already have a really tight set of practice notes. I can go out there and play my practice account in the qualifying round for free the first day and kind of check the holes out and make sure that those clubs worked and like that ball combo worked and like what can get done out there, and not have to worry about it, because I'm gonna tank that round anyways, so I can just go out there and practice and then go out there with my main account and try it out, like see what the deal is, and then go out and practice again the next day and qualify your other account, work in the deal. Thanks for watching. Should be good notes.